Hello everyone, how are you all students? Yesterday we have recalled two of our previous chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Now today we will recall our third chemical property, that is reaction of metals as well as non-metals with the oxygen. Yes students, as we had done one question based on this particular chemical property yesterday itself, that how metals are reacting with the oxygen. Now we are going to discuss it properly, that when metals are reacting with oxygen, they are reacting according to their level of reactivity. See, if they are highly reactive, they will react vigorously. If they are less reactive than the lesser than them, then they are reactive but not vigorously. Okay, you have to provide some external force for them to get reacted. Okay, and now third category is non-reactive, that those metals are very less reactive. They will not react with the oxygen directly. Okay, now students, the metals which kept in the category of vigorous metals are sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. Then next category is iron, zinc, aluminium. Yes, and after that silver, gold, platinum, etc. Yes, whatever the metals are reacting with oxygen, they are forming metallic oxides. Yes, okay students, they are forming what? They are forming metallic oxides, and this metallic oxide is basic in nature. Okay students, why they are basic in nature? Because when you dissolve these metallic oxide in water, you will get hydroxide. See, if we are reacting sodium with water with oxygen, then sodium oxide will form Na2O, and if we are dissolving this sodium oxide in water, then we are getting sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Means this is a two-way process, which is proving that whatever the oxides we are getting from the reaction of metal and oxygen are basic in nature. Okay students, now the reaction of non-metals with oxygen, they are forming non-metallic oxides. See, some examples of non-metallic oxides are nitrogen reacting with oxygen forming nitrogen dioxide, carbon reacting with oxygen forming carbon dioxide, and sulfur reacting with water forming oxygen forming sulfur dioxide. Okay students, these non-metals are reacting with oxygen forming non-metallic oxides. Okay, when a particular compound contains oxygen, that compound is known as oxide. Okay students, now after that third, this is the first category in which we are reacting metal and non-metal with oxygen. Now the second property, in the second property we are reacting metals with water as well as non-metals with water. But as you all know that non-metals not react with the water easily, although some exceptional cases are there that you don't need to know right now. You just understand that non-metals are not reactive with water, although metals are reacting with water. As I told you in the reaction of oxygen itself, that when we are dissolving metallic oxides in water, they are forming hydroxides. The same case is with water also, na? See, metallic oxides, few metals when react with water are forming hydroxides directly. Again, the most reactive metals, but few metals are not forming hydroxides directly. They are less reactive. They are forming first oxides and then hydroxides. See, when sodium is reacting with oxygen, forming oxides. But when sodium is reacting with water directly, forming hydroxide directly. Okay? Now, if we are taking aluminium, then aluminium first form aluminium oxide with water, and then if you are dissolving oxide in more water, then that oxide will convert into hydroxide. Okay students, it means you can easily understand by making two statements that when metals are reacting with oxygen, they are forming oxides, and when metals are reacting with water, they are forming hydroxides. And to understand it better, you just go through the reactivity series and you will get that highly reactive metals will form hydroxides directly, and less reactive metals will form hydroxides in two steps. First oxides and then hydroxides. Okay? And the less reactive metal, least reactive metal, or you can say non-reactive metals, will not form any hydroxide when reacting with water. As we are wearing gold bangles in our hand and we are washing our hands, is there anything happening in our hand? Nothing, because gold is non-reactive with water. Okay students? Now let's begin with the uses of some non-metals, as we have studied about alloys yesterday, which is a very important topic, and you have to understand that why we are making the alloys. We are making alloys to make a particular metal more strong. Okay students? Okay? For mixing the good advantages of two metals together and to cover up the disadvantages of one metal by the advantages of other one, we are mixing two and forming the alloys. When two or more metals are combining together, they are considered as alloy. Okay students? Now let's begin with the importance of some non-metals, as we had done the advantages of some metals in our previous some class. Now, okay students? Here is a list of some commonly used non-metals. Let's discuss one by one. First of all, oxygen. Oxygen, the supporter of life, without which life is not possible. Okay? So, how will you write the importance of oxygen? You will write oxygen, the gas which is useful for respiration and combustion. Now students, respiration is clear to you all, but what is combustion? As I know that you people can understand this term also, but let me recall. Yes, combustion, the burning of any of the product. You all know that burning is supported by oxygen only. And yes, carbon dioxide is the extinguisher. It's not supporting burning. Okay, stop burning. Fire extinguishers contains which gas? Contains carbon dioxide. Okay students? But without oxygen you will be unable to burn even the lighter, even the matchstick. Okay students? Now after that, nitrogen. Nitrogen is a major gas which is present in the atmosphere. Yes, you all know this thing? Yes. And it is utilized by the major gas which is utilized by the plants, without which even the life is not possible, because the life is directly or indirectly depend on plants only. Okay students? One more important use of nitrogen is for making the fertilizers. As I told you, wherever you want to write any of the thing, if you want to write the uses of any of the product which contain nitrogen, you can blindly write that it can be used for fertilizers. The reason is that nitrogenous compounds are utilized by plants as a chemical fertilizer. Okay students? Now the next one is carbon. Now again a very important non-metal, carbon, as it is abundant in nature. After burning any of the substance, we will get carbon in return. Ash. Ash is a form of carbon. Thus now the fuel, the energy, everything is carbon. How? Coal, diamond, graphite, everything, plastic, everything is carbon. and we are utilizing them in abundant works, abundant functions, for abundant functions. Okay, you can write any of the use of carbon, that it can be used for lubricant as a greasing, it can be used as electrodes, it can be used for burning as a fuel, etc. Okay students, and one more thing, it is also a source of minerals which is available under the earth crust. Okay, so it means even the life is depend on carbon also, because when we are burning the dead bodies, or we are burying the plants as well as animals under the earth crust, then what is happening? The body will get convert in the carbon and releasing the minerals in the soil, which is utilized by plants in return. Okay students, so it is a cycle, it is a balance of ecological system also. Okay, now after that, chlorine. Yes students, you all know about one thing about chlorine, that it is used as a disinfectant in water. It is the chemical which is used as a disinfectant for purifying the water. Okay, this is the most important use of chlorine, that it is used as a disinfectant. Yes, bleaching powder, as you have studied the formula of bleaching powder while reacting non-metals with base. Remember CaO, Cl2, calcium hypochlorite. Yes, it is the formula of bleaching powder, and you all know the many uses, abundant uses of bleaching powder at your home, as we are using it in baking industries, we are using it as a disinfectant for cleaning the floorings, etc. Okay, so that is the use of chlorine. Okay, now indirect use of chlorine. Now sulfur. What is sulfur? See, sulfur is an explosive non-metal. That's why it is used in cracker industries, while making the explosives, etc. Okay, phosphorus, a very important mineral which is utilized by human body also. Do you know, along with calcium, phosphorus is equally important for the strength of bones. Yes students, and one more importance of phosphorus is it is also used in explosive industries for making the matchsticks, safety matches. Okay students, the red part which is covered by the matchsticks, that is red phosphorus. Okay students, now after that, iodine. Iodine is a mineral, very important mineral, which is used in the salts. Okay, as you have listened many times that the advertisement of salts used to say the importance of iodine, the salt is iodized or not. Okay, it means we are intaking the iodine saves us from many diseases. Okay, about that disease, that is thyroid, you will study in your further chapters. Okay students, now any other importance of iodine? Yes, it is also act as a disinfectant. Okay students, for cleaning the germs. Now after that, noble gases. Yes students, just like noble metals, there are noble gases. Naturally, they are also rare gases. And one more thing which is very important about them is their outermost shell is itself a complete shell. They don't need to make themselves stable. They are already stable in the atmosphere. How? Because their outermost shell is complete. Okay? The example of these gases are helium, argon, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Okay? Just think about helium. Helium, that is the having an atomic number 2, means the shell is complete, is having 2 atomic number, 2 electrons in their outermost shell. Only one shell is there and it contains 2 electrons. Now after that, neon. Neon is the gas, its atomic number is 10, means first orbital 2 electrons and the next orbital 8 electrons. Again after that, argon. Argon is having 18 atomic number. First orbital 2 electrons, second 8, and the last outermost third one having 8 electrons again. Okay, in this way, their outermost shell contains 8 electrons. Okay, whether 2 or 8. In this way, they are stable, already stable. This is all about noble gases. But what are their uses? Where we are using them? See, helium is used to fill the balloons. Helium balloons are available. Now, argon. Argon is a gas which is present in the bulb, electric bulb, incandescent bulb, about which you have studied in your 7th class. And any other importance of these gases? Yes, they are used in making the lights. Krypton lights. After that, xenon, krypton are there. These are the noble gases and they are used in making the lights, street lamps, headlamps, neon lights, etc. Even these gases are used in underwater diving. Okay, students? In making the very conducting magnets, very important permanent magnets, they are used. Now, any other use of these gases? Yes, they are also used in laser techniques. Okay, students? Are you getting it? How they are using? How they are using in laser techniques? For making the atmosphere inert, non-reactive, as they are stable. And if we fill the particular area with such type of gas, naturally the whole area will occupied by these gases and they are non-reactive. Reason is that they will react only in some special circumstances where we want to react them. Otherwise they will not react because they don't need to satisfy themselves. Okay, so to create the atmosphere inert, we used to develop an area which is filled with such type of gases, that is noble gases. Okay, students? After that, bring out your notebooks and write down long question number 3 in your notebook as a classwork. Yes, student, this question is your classwork. Metals differ in their reactivity with acids. Yes, students, the question is saying when metals are reacting with acids, all metals will not react equally. As you all know that the reactivity of all metals is not same. That's why they are not reacting with acids equally. We just want to justify this statement. Naturally, we will justify the answer by giving the different chemical reactions. Okay, students? So, write down this question in your notebook. Now, start writing the answer. When an acid reacts with metal, salt and the hydrogen are produced. See, acid is reacting with metal and what is forming? Salt and hydrogen. Okay, students? Now, after that, how metals are differ in their reactivity? See, this is a group of most reactive metals and they are reacting vigorously, violently. Okay, now after that, less reactive than these metals. They are also reacting with acids, but the level of reaction is not that much strong. And one more thing, they will react with very dilute acids also, but they will not. They need some strong acids to react with them. Now after that, few metals are lying over there which are non-reactive with acids. Okay, students, under normal conditions. Means some acid will fall on them, they will not react. Okay, now write down this answer in your notebook. Metals differ in their reactivity with acids. Metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. reacts violently. Like sodium, dilute hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride will form, that is a salt. See, sodium chloride, KCl, CaCl2 all are salts and formed by reacting metal with acids. Okay, and hydrogen gas is liberating in all the cases. Liberating means releasing. Now, write down these three reactions together. Now, metals like magnesium, aluminium, zinc reacts mildly with acids. Mildly means they need a strong acid to react with them. they will not react with dilute situation of acids. You all know the meaning of dilute means, as you all know, that when we are forming a liquid, it contains solute and solvent. If the quantity of solute, just consider that solute over here is acid and solvent is water. If the quantity of solvent is more, that is a dilute solution. If the quantity of water will get increased in a particular acid, that acid is considered as dilute. Okay, students? And if the quantity of water is very less and the quantity of acid is more, that particular solution acid is known as concentrated acid. Okay, students? Because the concentration of acid is very high. Okay? Now, just write these two reactions also over there, and now after that write down about this group of metals which are non-reactive with acids. Clear, students? Are you attempting the answer in your notebook? Students, now the explanatory part of this chapter is over, and now it's your turn to learn this chapter properly and to understand it, to grasp it. Okay? And I am expecting this thing from you all, that whenever you come in front of me, you will be able to answer all the questions related to these topics which we people are doing right now. Okay, students? Okay? Utilize your time properly, and whatever we are doing in our respective subjects, you have to focus on that work. Okay? Maintain your handwriting properly, notebooks, everything. Okay? And yes, no homework for today, and whatever the classwork we had done, just go through that and do it properly in your notebook. Okay, students? Thank you, everyone.